Hey, what's going on, guys? So today is 8 years since I quit my job as a detective to go all in on my business. And usually this time of year, I do a lot of reflecting. I reflect on, how much I've grown as a business, where the business is at now compared to, where I thought I could take this in the beginning. And in the beginning, I just wanted to replace my income. That's it. That's as far as I wanted to take. I didn't care about anything else because I was after the freedom, right? And we'll get into that. But also just reflecting on, the life that I have built and the things that I'm able to do now. And this year, is a little different because I feel like I'm filled with so much gratitude for a lot. I'm so grateful for my life and the experiences and the memories that I've been able to make with my wife and kids because I decided to leave my job and build this business. I'm grateful for all of the people that I've been able to help change their lives as well, build a supplemental income, help them quit their job to go all in on the same business that changed my life. But honestly, I'm just so grateful that I was able to follow my gut, listen to my intuition, even though the world was screaming at me not to do something. Other than the support of my wife, I had no one in my life telling me, hell yeah, dude, go build that business. I know you can do it. Yeah, business is possible, blah, 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 blah. No one in my life had ever seen a successful business. No one that I knew personally had ever even attempted to build a business of their own. Definitely not one that was successful. So when I quit my job, when I was making that decision, everyone in my life was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, they literally thought I was losing my mind. My family was looking at me like I was crazy because I was going to give up the detective title to do what exactly? My friends and peers, when they found out that I was going to sell on Amazon, I say it in quotes because they had no clue what that was. It wasn't nearly as popular as it is now. Well, one, they didn't understand it. And then two, they were either cracking jokes, throwing jabs, or straight up laughing at me. Or three, they were like, don't do it. Don't do it. And I've told the story about my buddy, he was just trying to look out for me, but he's like, dude, once you're here 20 more years, you'll get an extra 2 days off a month. Are you sure you want to give that up? And I'm like, dude, thank you for telling me that because now I'm more in this than ever before. Because if I have to wait 20 more years to get a little bit more freedom, I need to get the fuck out of here. But one thing that you're going to run into when you go and pursue your business, and I'm not telling everybody to quit their job, that's not at all what I'm trying to say. But what you're going to find when you do go all in on your business and you start going against the grain is that there will be people that are going to project onto you. I will never do that, or I would never do that because of this and this. So I'm going to project those limiting beliefs onto you. I'm going to project this negativity onto you because I think that would be the dumbest thing to do. Now I'm going to tell you what I think, but they're just projecting because they would never take a similar risk or anything like that. And people aren't going to understand what you're doing until the results are undeniable. So you have to be okay with looking dumb, and you will look dumb to the eyes of everybody else. You will look cringe to the eyes of everybody else until it works. Then all of a sudden, you're this genius, and everyone knew you were going to do it, and they were always supportive, and then they're proud of you, which is my favorite. And it's just so funny to me how people actually operate. But, going back to when I quit my job, I was already terrified of the decision that I was making. And on top of that, I had so much negativity from 99% of the people in my life, again, other than my wife. Don't do it. This is a stupid decision. How are you going to give this up? What exactly are you going to do? I remember like having resistance when I was actually going to type out the letter. And I was put back on nights for a couple of weeks, which was honestly a blessing in disguise. And on one of my night shifts, I go into the department. It's dead silent. There's nobody around. I go to my detective's office and I sit at my desk and I just start typing out this 2 to 3 sentence 2 week notice. And I print it out and I just stare at it for what feels like a lifetime. And I'm just going back and forth and I'm like, man, am I really about to do this? Am I really about to quit my job that I worked so hard to get and worked so hard to be in the position that I'm at to go and pursue an online business that just not that long ago I didn't even realize existed? And as I'm going back and forth with myself, all the voices just stop in my head. I look up and I say, fuck it. I get up, I put the letter on my sergeant's desk, and I leave. And I never looked back. Now, what I didn't realize at the time was that I was simply making a decision to change the game that I was playing. Changing the game that I was playing to one that I actually wanted to win. And the game that I was playing was becoming more and more clear the closer and closer I got to making that decision to put in my 2 weeks. Because I felt like God was giving me signs of like, dude, this is what your life is going to look like if you stay here. So I had an odd number of people coming in and to my office and talking about retirement, how much time they have left, and how, once they retire, then a few years later, they're going to get their social security. You're going to get a couple extra $100 a month, and then they're going to enjoy their life. Then they're going to do whatever they want. And guys, I had 32 years left. 32 years at a job that I no longer wanted to be at a job that I felt like I was just simply living to work, and all of my thoughts would consume going back to work and having to stay in this place that I no longer wanted to be at. 32 more years of that. And it was weird because, like I said, people always talk about retirement, but it was such an odd amount of people. Like it was so many people that I was like, what is happening? I started to question myself. I was like, do they know that I'm about to quit my job and they're trying to entice me to stay? Like, why are so many people telling me this? So that was one sign. Another sign was that we had like this new hire come onto the department, and when you're brand new, you do orientation with all of the departments. So you'll do one with the patrol, you'll do one with admin, you'll do one in the jail, you do one with investigations. So I had this guy for the day, and he was just following us around. So, we're shooting the shit over time. And essentially, he comes from a law enforcement family. He's like, yeah, my dad, he was in law enforcement, so I understand the game. I didn't see him a lot growing up. He missed a lot of my life. And, my parents got divorced and this, and that. And he's like, but I understand the game. I know what I'm getting myself into. I'm okay with doing that with, my life and my family and all that stuff. And at the time, my son was just born. So I was like, you're okay with that? I was like, you're okay with sacrificing most of your life for a job that would replace you tomorrow? I was like, fuck that. Not me. No way. Like, I remember that moment vividly. I was like, no way is that going to be me. And then the third sign was that we just had so many people going through divorce back to back to back, which is, divorce is a common thing in law enforcement, just based off of the field and the nature of the job, the demand of the schedule, all that stuff. But, my first 4 years, there was like a couple of people who got divorced. My last year, it was just like one after another after another. And I was like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? So I was consistently seeing people who had dedicated, 15, 20, 25 years in some cases. They dedicated all these years to this job. And what they sacrificed was their marriage, their relationships with their kids, and the job became their life. And when these catastrophic moments in their lives would happen, like getting a divorce after being married for 20 years, it was like no one cared. The department definitely didn't slow down. Even myself, I was like, man, that sucks, but what am I supposed to do? But that's exactly my point, is that you end up playing this game for this job that you don't want to be at, that is putting your life at risk. It's putting your relationships at risk. It's putting your marriage at risk. It's putting your life on hold, essentially, until you retire, and then you can enjoy your life. And the thing with the sheriff's department, just like any business and any job, is that it's a machine, and it needs to keep going no matter what happens. If a piece falls out, if somebody quits, if somebody leaves, whatever, they're going to replace you tomorrow, as they should, because the machine needs to keep working. But when we understand that no matter what, this business, this machine, this thing needs to continue to move forward, then we need to make decisions knowing that. So I know that they would replace me tomorrow. So why would I sacrifice so much of my life? Why would I put so many things as a wager on the table? Hopefully I'm married at the end of this. Hopefully I still have a good relationship with my kids. Hopefully I don't miss too much of what's going on. Why would I wager all of that for a job that I know for a fact would replace me tomorrow? So then I need to make decisions that are going to benefit me, benefit my life, benefit my future, benefit my family, because now I am aware of the reality of things. Even for me, I was a critical part of the department. I was one of the detectives, and they replaced me like a month later. So knowing all of this, what you need to do is you need to wake up to the game that you're playing. The game that you're playing with life is one of the biggest pieces to that game is the job that you are in, is what you are doing to gain money, right? Because without money, how are we ever supposed to have freedom? You can be free without money. It's called being homeless, but that's not the future that we want, right? We want to also make money in the process of playing this game, right? So what you need to do is you need to look at the game you're playing, and you need to fast forward to the last level. Okay, am I good with that? Am I good with being at the pinnacle, at the last level of this game? Well, for me, that game, the last level was going to be all right, well, I'm going to promote to sergeant and then I'm going to be stuck at, 8 months of days, 8 months of nights, fixed schedule for the life of me being a sergeant. And yes, I'm going to make an extra couple $100 a month, but I'm going to have 10 times the responsibility, and all for what? To top out at my pay, maybe 5 to 6K take home a month. Because as a detective, I was bringing home $3,300 a month. So let's say after a decade, I get my top step and I'm bringing home an extra $2,000 per month. So I'm bringing home 5 to 5,300 bucks a month. I sacrifice so much of the things that I don't want to sacrifice. My job becomes my life. I miss out on the fact that I know there's so much else that I could be doing, making more money. But you know what? I'm comfortable here. I'm scared to leave. I'm scared to trust my gut. I'm scared to take a leap of faith. So I'm just going to stay here for the next 32 years for $5,000 a month. I was not good with playing that game. So because I wanted a radically different life, I needed to play a radically different game, which required me to make radically different decisions. If you've been following me for some time, you guys understand that for me, the biggest luxury in life is not the cars. It's not a house. It's not this or that. Whatever social media is trying to shove down your throat, the biggest luxury for me is freedom. Having the ability to come and go, having the ability to have financial freedom as well. So it's not about buying these big extravagant things. It's about the little things. I don't have to stress about money. My household does not have to ever have money as a stress like I had when I was growing up. That was one of the biggest things that would stress us out because we were always so freaking poor and nobody ever made a decision to go all in on a different direction that would change things. And for me, I like having the ability to, oh, my kids are on spring break like they were a couple of weeks ago. Let's pack up. Let's go to San Diego. Let's go to some amusement park. Let's go to the beach. Let's go surf. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And we don't have to think twice about it. I don't have to go and ask a boss for a day off. I don't have to wait for months and hope that it's going to get approved. I don't have to wait, ask for a day off, and then give me some bullshit excuse why it's not going to get approved. I don't have to wait and have my family at home making all of these memories and going on these trips and doing all of these things while I'm stuck at work. That's not the game that I wanted to play. And I would have none of the things that I have in my life. I would have a fraction of the life experience, the memories that I've made with my wife and kids. I wouldn't even be in this house. I wouldn't even be in this neighborhood. My kids wouldn't even be at the school that they're at, which is one of the best schools in the area. If I just didn't take that leap of faith, I wouldn't have any of that if I would have listened to what everyone else was telling me not to do. Don't quit your job. Stay where you are. How are you going to give this up? People are going to look at you like you're crazy. They're going to think you're an idiot. You may look stupid. You may look cringe until it works, until it works. And honestly, going through that, going through those phases of, yeah, I look cringe, I look stupid, I look this, I look that, to the eyes of others, is the payment that you have to make to get to the other side and actually be successful. But with all of that said, I'm not telling you to quit your job. That's not at all what I'm saying. That is a decision that I decided to make after I started to get some traction in my business. But most of the people that I work with, they come to me and they're building this on the side. They have other businesses, they have full-time careers, they're in college, maybe they have a wife and kids and other responsibilities, and they're building this on the side very successfully, just like a bunch of them that I'm going to show up on screen right here. What I'm telling you in this video is that if you don't wake up to the reality of the game that you are playing and you don't make conscious decisions to go all in on a game that is worth winning to you, then life is going to assign you a game that you are forced to play regardless of outcome. So choose wisely.